Constance, and I'm sorry I haven't been putting projects up as fast, but some of the projects I've been doing somewhat large, and then I'm doing projects with the kids at school. And so I'll be able to share those through their site later. I'm working on trying to do a video of all their projects, and I hope to do it by the end of this week, before their spring break next week. Anyway, this is a project that's actually for my mother. This is her birthday present from last year. I have been trying to get to it. I know I've talked about it. I did promise, if you guys saw my daughter's Sweet 16 Cinderella carriage that I did for her, it held her 16 crown. It all kind of went with the Sweet 16 theme that I did for her. But I did promise I'd do a smaller one, and it's really easy, and I'll explain this as I go. But it started with the fairy carriage, and it expanded. So I kind of got carried away. Of course, you know, I kind of owe my mom. Her birthday was in August. So I'm going to show you. This is my little fairy cottage, little village. This is a partial piece, and I'll have a really cute name for it, title here. And you'll see it bold right about here. All right. So this is pretty. I've got 3 fairies and 2 gnomes. And each part has a different area. So let me show you and let it focus in. And I know that I've got you a little bit sideways here. I'm sorry. So here it is. This is my fairy village, or partial piece of it. And I'm going to go over each little section with it. And so right here we got the blue gnome, and he's taking care of his garden. He does have a ladybug, and this, by the way, is I forgot the name of the wood, but it's the argony or whatever wood that they sell at Joann's. But I stained it this Kahlua color. It's almost a dark coffee. Left the moss and stuff around the edges. He is gardening, as you can see here. And you can see I used a glass beadwork bead for the chicken. And he has got, my mom calls it the lettuce headbed, but I still think it's cabbage. But those are aluminum roses, and of course I have a pathway here, and it is a pearl pathway because it's enchanted, but you don't know that it's not white stone. Here's my snail, here's my little turtle, and this is a turquoise turtle bead, and then I have a little kitty cat back here, and it goes from the inside of the house to the carriage. I made my own texture, and then I used flocking, different colors of flocking. And it's not wet, it's rock hard. So you guys can hear it. I also have this cute little, the fencing, and I bought it at Joann's. I decided to leave it natural because, you know, the gnomes are little and it's probably just kind of sticks to them. And the gnomes and fairy are really about the same size. So you go over to this fairy that's kind of outside the garden, and if you can see, she's going, aww. So she's my little orange fairy. And then I have a gnome over here tending to his garden, his flower garden. And we have another little ladybug right here. And as you can see, it is the flowers that go all the way around. My mom requested burgundy. And so most of this is burgundy. And then we have the fairy carriage. And this is a terrarium, and I said that I would tell you how I made this. Now, the one for my daughters, I explained it in a 2-part video, but you can see that's like an, oak leaf fairy. I don't know what this one would be called. You guys would happen to check the type of leaves, but I'm going to call this one my oak fairy. But she's back there sitting on her little seat with flowers at her feet and a foo-foo seat, and then I used the beads, the leaf beads, to wrap around it. I believe I did get these from Adele. And she's just gorgeous. I did go ahead and put extra stickles in to make it enchanted. Now these are just wood wheels, and what I did was I took Chinese sticks. You know, the sticks you eat, Chinese eating sticks, whatever. And what I did is I stuck them through in it till it stuck on one side, and I put a little glue, and I broke it off. And I did the same to the other side, stuck the wheels to the bottom, and then I put the other wheel on, and then I felted it after I glued it. And then I just made sure that it was completely covered. And this is how you'll know it's a terrarium. I originally was going to put a light in here, And I ended up putting it in a different place. And I'm going to show you. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep my arms up here, my sleeves up. Now you will see that I do have a fairy in here. She's inside of the cottage. And I'm going to lift it up. And she's in there praying. She's hoping for good weather and nobody to find them. And again, you'll see that I have the beads. These are the same type of beads as those, but this one has more peridot color to clear. And so I did put extra stickles around those flowers because it is an enchanted forest. And then I did put an owl up in here. And I did use the bigger burgundy roses that Adele sells, but what I did is I put the burnt ones or the darker ones up at the top because, you know, the chimney, there's a fire inside their little house to keep warm. And I put the brighter ones on the outside because they're fresher, they're easier for them to get to. Now, if you're wondering where I got this, it's an actual birdhouse that I got it Tuesday morning. And if you look in their spring section, I bought this like a month and a half ago, so if you guys can find them, good luck. I was barely able to find one more because my mother-in-law had seen it and she wanted one. Though I think after this, and I know I'm hoping that she watches this, that she may want me to do this for her birthday. But I will look at it more for Mother's Day. And then I have a garden, a rock garden down here. Oh, and over here's a snail. I did tell you a snail. I do have another snail right here up along the rock yard, and then there's a ladybug. And these are real stone beads. So, but they are real stones, so they just kind of matched and worked in for me. And I put them all around the side. Now, I'll show you what I'm hiding here in a minute. But they have an unwanted guest, as you can see. And you can see how I did the wheels back here with some felt. It wasn't the same with my daughters. I used a metal plate and a lot of certain special glue. And good luck finding the right glue on doing a bigger one, because it's a lot harder than you think to get them to stick together when you're looking at it, metal versus glass. But it took me a while to figure that one out. And a lot of different types of glue. But they have an unwanted guest. I had to give my mom something in Florida. So I gave her a little gator that's sneaking in on him. And it made a great filler piece. Now, the problem that I'm having right now is when I go to mail this, I actually have to, I got my heat gun heated up. And after this video, I'm going to pop her off because I'm afraid her little legs will break. Now, you know that I don't do something without a special touch. So, I'm going to pause here, and then I'm going to come back real quick, and you guys won't even know how fast. But I got something special to show you to go with all of this. Guys, I told you it would be lickety-split for you guys, but timing for me. If you'll notice, I did put the lantern, the Tim Holtz lantern light in there because it's like a fairy lantern. I don't know if you can see it, but it does wiggle back and forth, and it gives just enough light on the fairy that's in here. You can see her a little better. I think I have the light down a little too much. But it does give a little light to it. And I originally, again, I was going to put that inside of here and then just work it out and cover it up, but I didn't end up doing it because the fairy was too tall. But I didn't just do that. You cannot have fairies and gnomes without fireflies. So I took this, the LED lights that are like 20, oh, they're like 10 feet long, but there's like 20 lights on it. And I hand sewed them into the little fairy cottage house. So we have fireflies lighting up the house for them on the outside and on the inside. And they flicker on and off. You have the choice to leave them on solid or flickering them on and off. I kind of like it on the flicker because they're like their little butts are lighting up. But it is all the way around the perimeter, as you can see. I sewed it all the way around. I do have a tip if anybody wants it, if they're looking at doing this, how to weave it in and which way to weave it. What you want to do is you want to start at the back and leave half of it off and then weave around this way, and then it weaves all the way around. But we have one little firefly that's trying to fly away, and then we have one up around the chimney of roses that's trying to fly away. So there it is. This is my little fairy village, or part of it. And let's see if you can get a better look of it. There you go. And this is a Tim Holtz light, and the neat thing about the Tim Holtz light, and I'll show you this, I'll turn the light back on. And then this is a Christmas light. You can actually buy these in Joann's. I buy lights all the time. Every time I go in and I don't know what I'm going to use my 40% off. I'll bring it up a little bit here. But the Tim Holtz light, if you did not know, it is really cool. This is the battery pack, and this thing is great for interweaving because that's how you turn it on and off. You plug it in, you plug it out. You plug it in, you plug it out. As long as it connects, it's kind of like a 9-volt battery. So you plug it to it and then light will come on. But again, it has variable speeds for you. I'm going to turn the light back up here all the way so you can see that. You have the choice of timer, phasing, flashing, and steady on. If I do the flashing, it's a little... I don't like it. Fireflies don't really do that. I like the slow speed of fireflies because their butts go on and off. They don't just magically flush their butt really fast. So, and then you have the all on and then off. So I have been working on this for weeks, in months, gathering things for all of this. And it came together at the last minute, and I was very happy. I was able to put it together in about 3 hours. And then let it dry, and then another 2 hours, and then that was it. So 5 hours, and then like 4 or 5 months of gathering, and promising you I would show you this. So it's pretty fun, pretty. My mom, and I was going to surprise her with it, but since she's already waited from August, I went ahead and just shared it with her, and she's in love with it. But I am going to pop her off so that she doesn't break. So as soon as I finish the video, I'm going to box it up. Hope you like it. Leave your comments below. Thanks, guys.